Family, we are in third and long, and if you're a Bills fan, I got some disappointing news. The Super Bowl window, in my mind, completely shut. They're sitting at 5-5. That's the worst record to start the season since Josh Allen's rookie year. Allen said, quote, "It's no secret the clock's ticking." But let me provide y'all some empirical data as to why I think the Bills Super Bowl window is closed. 3-year runs. Usually you have a 3-year stretch to get something done in the NFL unless you're a dynasty. Rosters on average, they turn over 33% over every year. So let's look at some of the windows I'm referencing. See, if you don't get it done in 3 years, you better anticipate a colossal change. Bills, their 3-year window, 20, 21, 22, went to an AFC championship game, 2 divisional games, but they didn't get it done. Some of the other 3-year windows, how about the Packers? Remember, 2019 to 21, didn't get it done. Colossal change. Aaron Rodgers gone. How about the Rams? They went to a Super Bowl, didn't get it done. Colossal change. Out Goff and Matthew Stafford. How about the Seahawks? 13 to 15. 3-year window. 2 Super Bowls. Thankfully, they got 1 win in there. Because after 2015, y'all realize they only won a couple more playoff games? 3 years prior, about 7-8 playoff wins. Even the Atlanta Falcons. 3-year window. They went to the Super Bowl, but didn't get it done. And lastly, when I really think about the team near and dear to my heart, it was the Eagles. They had a 3-year window. Didn't get it done. Colossal change. Well, they actually did get it done with Nick Foles. It just wasn't Carson Wentz. Next thing you know, you have Jalen Hurts entering in the building. The Bills' 3-year window, I think it's shut. Shady, I think it's shut. Joy, I think it's shut. James, but Shady, you played for the Bills. I've been saying Super Bowl window was closed since August 31st. I went on record saying that. Now it's looking officially official. Where do you stand? Bills Super Bowl window closed?
Yeah, it's shut, right? It's shut, and hopefully, it's closed. Like, it's not opening no time soon. For this year. Let's get that straight, for this year. The thing is, even though Josh Allen's not playing well like we're used to seeing, he's not being that superstar and winning them games with the turnovers like he did before, they have too many injuries, bro. Look at the defense. Everybody's hurt over there. All their best players. Von Miller is an excellent player. He's hurt right now. You can see the way he's playing. He's trying to get back to the old Von Miller. You look at the safeties. Poyer and Micah Hyde are up and down with injury-wise. And then you look at I feel like their best player on defense playing-wise is Matt Milano. I played with Matt Milano. He was young, he was good. He was really, really good now, and he's hurt. Then you look at Tre'Davious White. They're starting all-pro cornerback. He's hurt. So as you look at this team, I don't think they have enough on offense, supporting cast, to make up for the injuries on defense, right? And then you add on the fact that, yes, Josh Allen, who was the best player on the team, is not playing like it. So, yes, is the window closed? Yeah. I mean, it's so close. Like, you can't even, no gnats, no ants, nothing can get through that joint. So they got to make some moves. I do think that next year you might be a better shot, but right now, nah, it's over.
My question is, the Super Bowl window is closed. You're talking about just for this year? Because those teams you were talking about.
That's why I said this year.
This year?
I'm in perpetuity unless they blow something up.
So you're saying that Josh Allen doesn't have the capability of winning a Super Bowl with the Bills?
With this group, Sean McDermott would likely have to go. Stephon Diggs would have to go. Like, something would have to get blown up just because I haven't seen it.
Okay, but what team have you seen it with? Other than the Chiefs?
In the 3-year windows you're referencing?
I'm saying it's not closed because I believe Josh Allen has the talent capability, and this organization is not one that I consider to be dysfunctional in nature. So I can't say that it is closed. Closed means there's no chance this quarterback and this team are ever going to win a Super Bowl. To me, that is Super Bowl window is closed. I don't feel comfortable saying Josh Allen has no shot at winning a Super Bowl with the Bills.
I think I feel comfortable saying that, and I don't want to. I don't want to. No, but like, here's my thought to you, Joy, and this is conversationally. What would it take? Because think about how old the Bills roster is. Poyer, Hyde, both over 30. Milano next year is coming off a complete reconstructive surgery. I believe he broke his leg. He's going to be 30. Von Miller, I believe, is 33 or 34. I'm 33, and he's a draft class ahead of me. He's over 30. Stephon Diggs, Shade, you know him well. He's over 30. Dawson Knox is hurt and on his way out and older. The Bills' best players are all old.
So you're just talking about this current roster. It's over.
Yeah, they'd have to blow it up.
Well, sure, but I'm looking at Josh Allen and McDermott. I'm looking at Josh Allen with the Bills.
Josh 27.
You think McDermott? See, even McDermott. You think McDermott will still be there? Like,
I think the Bills have won the Division 3 of the last 3 years. Josh Allen has come into every single year of those years as a preseason MVP contender. We've picked them to go to the Super Bowl year in and year out. They're struggling and inconsistent this year. Josh Allen is turning the ball over at a terrible rate. He has not been consistent, but he was doing all those things in those last 3 years, and they were winning. So they're having a down year. They're struggling. Yes, they're not currently in the playoffs, but there's still some football to be played, and I don't think that Josh Allen is at the end of his career.
Of course not. I don't think so.
So that's a good point. I'm saying the window's closed for this year.
Of course.
This year it's a wrap. I'm saying but going forward, nah. I think the Bills are still going to be a solid team because they have a really, really good coach, Sean McDermott. He's not going anywhere. He's changed that culture for sure. And then you got Josh Allen, that's 27. He's still going to be, it's Josh Allen. He's bad a year. It happens all the time.
Here's my thought process, though, James, it's to Shady and Joy's point responding to it. The Bills are regressing. They're regressing on paper. They're regressing off paper.
That's the biggest thing.
Sean McDermott, the head coach, has fired his defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, and fired his offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, within the last 12 months. He's fired both of them. The defense is worse than it was last year. The offense is worse than it was last year on the eye test. Now, on paper, the defense is worse than it was last year because they're getting older, and the offense is worse than it was last year because Josh is more inconsistent. So I can hope that the Bills will be better because I pray and I think and I trust that they will. But if I'm quite literally looking at the roster, looking at the data, looking at the ages, nothing tells me that the Bills will be better because they're all getting older.
No, you're exactly right. And I think the window's closed to win a Super Bowl in Buffalo for Josh. I think it's going to be a lot of changes there. I don't think we see Stephon Diggs there after this year. I think they'll try to find some suitors for Stephon Diggs. I think it'll be some key veteran players released or traded. You talk about the two safeties being old. Milano, we don't know what he's going to look like coming back, so you're possibly going to have to go out there, look in free agency to get you a middle linebacker. It's going to be a lot of changes within this organization. What I see in the future is them getting 2 first-round picks, and I think Josh is eventually going to be traded from the Buffalo Bills. I do. I truly do. Because their window and door was so wide open, this roster was stacked. With the ability with Josh playing at a really, really high level to go win a championship and did not get it accomplished. Now we looking at it like, dang, they're going to have to gut this thing out. Whether you keep McDermott or not, I like McDermott. McDermott is a good coach.
Great coach, yeah.
Whether you keep him or not, it's going to be a lot of changes. Is that going to be enough changes to make sure Josh Allen is in the playoffs consistently? I don't know. Is that going to be enough changes for him to beat Lamar, for him to beat Joe Burrow, for him to beat Patrick Mahomes, for him to beat some of these good quarterbacks in the AFC? I do not know. I think the window is closed for Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, man. I do. I truly do.
Before he does it again.
Making him sign.
Did I hear you say?
You did, loud and clear,
that
man. I don't think I whispered.
Josh Allen?
I think eventually.
Let me put that in there.
Yeah.
Wait.
Define eventually, because
the
next 2 years or like the next 15?
I think in the next 2 years. No, in the next 10, his career over. I'd say.
You don't think he'll give him another contract, you think?
No, I think
okay, so let me say something about
before you get another contract.
I'll say this.
5 years left on this deal.
And me saying he getting traded don't mean he bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
that ain't what I'm saying.
I mean, you traded a player. You don't think he...
No, you got traded. You wasn't a bad player.
That coach must have thought that I couldn't do it.
No. When you get traded don't mean you're a bad player. I'm not saying Josh is a bad player. I'm just saying that's what organizations do.
Right. I mean, I still got busy out there. But let's just say this for a second. The reason why the Bills are a good team, you got Josh Allen, right? You got Stephon Diggs. You have culture there. They draft extremely well. Most players that we talk about, they drafted, okay? The second thing is they do well in free agency.
They really well in free agency.
Most players that do well for the Bills are in free agency. And the last thing, they develop these players. So when I look at a team, right, that, okay, what makes this team a good team? Because we got to say for the last 4 to 5 years, they've been a really, really good team, correct? They don't win a championship. It's hard to do, but they've been a good team. They've been beating that division for 3 or 4 years. All them things I talked about, that's what makes them a good team. So if they had to reset, I mean, they have to go get a draft pick. They can do that.
But I'm just saying, how many more years is the reset?
Hold on. But I'm just saying, if you talking about for the future, so we're not talking about this year, we're talking about the future.
We're talking future.
They're a good team where they could...
I know, and they have been a great team, Shady, with great talent and have not won. That's all I'm saying. So how, like drafting development, you're going to have to be able to compete with Joe Burrow, Tua, all these dudes, and you're going to have to... This roster's going to... I ain't going to say gut it out, but it's going to be some key players gone.
Who outside of the Chiefs do you feel 100% confident their window is wide open in perpetuity?
The Bengals.
Yeah, Cincy.
No, stop. She's right, because the Bengals, they're going to be different next year too, right?
Yeah.
Because people got to get paid. Since we going to take it that route, keep going. Right. Because the Bengals ain't just guaranteed.
So the Bengals will look different.
Yes.
We don't know what the Dolphins will accomplish yet.
I don't know about Tua. Yeah, I wouldn't say.
They paying Tua. They not. That matters.
Yeah, I didn't say Tua. Okay,
No, I'm just saying that's a question.
We've got the Ravens.
That's open, I believe.
I think they're open because they don't have no real key money.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Ravens is open, is wide open. No questions there. What about the Cowboys? Cowboys is wide open in perpetuity?
No, I don't even think the Cowboys.
No, Cowboys got to prove something.
The Jets?
No.
Go to the
Browns?
Jaguars.
But there aren't a lot of windows open.
I have Jacksonville. So that's what I'm saying. So
there aren't a lot of windows open.
So then there's 2 teams that can win the Super Bowl.
No, we're saying that whose window is open. Like
windows open means you can't get out the window. The window's closed. Windows closed. Windows locked. You can't win the Super Bowl. There are plenty of teams that you feel can win the Super Bowl. There's more than 2 teams you think can win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So then there are windows open.
But by the way they playing right now, though.
This year.
But we are saying that it's closed. Like, it's closed. There's just no chance that this team that has won the division the last 3 years is going to be able to turn it around with a few adjustments.
In the same GM, this is another thing. See, I like to go through the whole thing. Because when y'all say the window's closed for the future, we got to go to the whole thing as the coaching, the players,
the culture, the GM.
The GM is a good GM, right? Brandon Beane is a hell of a GM.
Yeah.
Why do you think they got Stephon Diggs?
Every year, all 32 teams got a chance to win the Super Bowl. But what we are seeing right now is the Buffalo Bills go backwards. That's what we're seeing
this year, and that happens.
But I'm saying this is like, if you were going to
last year, you went to the AFC Championship, then you got smacked at home by Joe Burrow, and then you might not even make the playoffs again. It's just going backwards.
That's what I'm saying is like, Shady, we all watch enough ball, know enough about ball to look and predict what might happen. And the reason I'm predicting it might happen is because this roster is the oldest roster in football. Yeah. Old players tend to get hurt. Mm-hmm. Micah Hyde, you're going to have to replace him. Right. Jordan Poyer, you're going to have to replace him. Tre'Davious White, you're going to have to replace him because he's had 2 back-to-back surgeries. I pray he comes back from his Achilles. I think it's an Achilles. But you're going to have to replace him. So now you got Taron Johnson as your lone DB. Von Miller, you're going to have to replace. Like, the roster is just old.
It's old, but you have a GM that does well, and you just said it, with free agency, picking players, correct? Mm-hmm. For trading for players, correct? Mm-hmm. And developing players. Everything that you saying they're going to have issues with, their GM and coach, they do well. You get what I'm saying? So they'll always have a chance, is what I'm saying. And you still got a 27-year-old Josh Allen that even playing this bad, maybe 4 teams wouldn't take him?
I guess, let me ask y'all this finally. I feel about Josh Allen and the Bills how I felt about Phillip Rivers in 2006, 7, 8, etc. Phillip Rivers is a fringe Hall of Famer, or we'll get into the Hall of Fame. Phillip Rivers went to an AFC Championship game, but if y'all remember, he only went once. Yeah. Phillip Rivers is a really good quarterback. There are not many teams who would have traded for Phillip Rivers. We could have said in 2007, man, outside of the Patriots and the Saints, once Drew Brees got there, everybody would have traded for Phillip Rivers.
Right.
But at
we
the end of the day,
of knowing how it turned out.
Correct. And what I am doing is assessing. Josh Allen is great. Phillip Rivers was great. Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. It's not just Josh Allen. It's not just Josh Allen. This organization has been great. They've been better than every other team in that division for the last 3 years. Not even close. Not even close. But you would say because I wouldn't say the Chargers were a great organization, but they were 12-4, 11-5,
Only the Chiefs
11-5.
have the better record and that span than the Bills. But hold on, real quick. The Chargers ain't never been favored to win nothing. Let's not get crazy.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.